over to him.
Okay.
Did we get all the
They haven't come in yet.
At the top of the hour. Go ahead and go.
and then hey. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. Look at all the smile. Look at all the people. We need to unmute Winston because when I get to that point about that high note, he looks like that got that good voice that could hit it. I can't. Too deep. Woo, happy Tuesday, everybody. It's really been a great day. I mean, a really, really good day just to be alive. But oh, what's that song? I was born to be alive. I hear that jingle like every other day now. You guys got to listen to that music. It just it puts this energy in your cells, that frequency, Candace, it's a frequency, getting that born to be alive in my cells. And it's just, there's just so much going on. I'm loving it. I love to wake up. I love to get to my computer. I love to start my day because I get to have coffee with the love of my life, but then I get to get out here and help as many people as I can. Woo, they're still coming in. Start to slow down a little bit. All right, so let's get going. We've got 5 minutes left. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to the RRR247 episode 7. Episode 7. RRR247 podcast episode 7. Fantastic. You're in the right place at the right time. And hopefully by the time we get done going through all this stuff with you for the next couple of weeks, if you're brand new, you're going to feel exactly like I do. You're going to talk as fast as I do, and your cells are going to be singing just like I try not to do because I can't sing. We're going to get Winston to cover me on the singing part here pretty soon. So welcome to RRR247. And listen, there's amazing things happening. So if you're brand new, I want you to write this down, please. Write this down. Get out your pen, get out your pencil. Never miss a Tuesday call. Everybody just please write that down. Never miss a Tuesday call. Why, Niall? Because every big announcement, incredible people being introduced, the leadership in here, sharing and pouring their brains and their hearts out to help you build a business, to help you create financial freedom, to help you hit whatever your goals are. Everything happens on Tuesday night. Every big announcement that you need to make sure we can control your rate of success and help you get to where you want to be quickly. Everything it happens on Tuesday night. At any time Rory and Tanya are going to add a product, a service, a tool, an idea, sharing an idea from somebody else that's having a lot of success right now. Anytime those things are going to happen, it's going to happen on Tuesday night. And you don't want to miss any of that. If somebody's on here telling their story and what's happened to them and something they've tried and how it worked for them and how well their business is exploding, you want to hear that. You want to know that up front. You want to know that away and take that. There's going to be 20 different things, and take 5 or 10 of them that you feel comfortable with and implement them in your business right away, immediately. What else happens, Candace, on Tuesday nights? We get to meet all the new people. Every week, somewhere between 10 and 30 brand new people joining the team, joining the family from all around the country, all around the world, actually. And now's your chance. Whoever got you here, they want to know you made it on, Rory and Tanya, they get to hear your name for the very first time. If you're brand new, click on the little microphone in the lower left-hand corner or hold down a space bar on your keyboard. Say hello, and don't forget to tell us what state you're calling in from because we'd love to hear that too. And welcome to the call.
Hello, my name is Elston Goodman. I'm from Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas, in the house. Welcome, sir. Glad you made it. There you are. Good to meet you. I look forward to talking to you real soon. All right. Anybody else? Who else is out there? Brand new.
James Perryman from Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta's in the house. Look at that. Houston to Atlanta that quickly. Welcome. Glad you made it, sir. Welcome to the call. Anybody else?
Dolores Jones, St. Louis, Missouri.
Dolores from St. Louis.
Yes.
Welcome, ma'am. Glad you made
Missouri,
it. Welcome to the call.
Okay.
Hello, good night. My name is Makisha Clark. I'm calling from Queens, New York.
Queens in the house. Welcome, Mickey. Glad you made it.
Thank you.
Evening all. Gina from PA.
Gina from PA. Welcome, Gina. Glad you made it.
Thank you.
Welcome to the team, everybody. Anybody else? All right, let me let this little pack of people in right here. So once again, welcome everybody to the RRR247 podcast, episode 7. RRR247 podcast, episode 7. You want to write that down. So when you're researching 1 through 6 or know how to go forward, you know this week, the week you're new, we're on episode 7. A lot of great things happening. And if you didn't hear me say this earlier, if you're brand new, write this down. Never miss a Tuesday night call. All the big announcements, all the additions. Anytime we're oriented, you're going to add something to help you grow your business, make more money, expand into other countries, do anything. It'll always be launched on Tuesday night. Sometimes on Tuesday night, we have guest speakers that you get to meet. You hear their story. You find out why they're here, why they make the decision to be here, and how lucky were they when, at the time that they joined, that they got a hold of something this brilliant. Once they figured it all out, walked away from their jobs. If you go back and look for Stacy's story, walking away from your career and gaining that freedom to achieve your own goals and set your own limits and do whatever you want to do. That time freedom and financial freedom are the 2 greatest things we can give to anybody. So you'll hear those stories if you never miss a Tuesday night call. If Rory and Tanya are going to add something to the system, a product, a tool, a service, you'll get that firsthand and be able to put it into your business if you never miss a Tuesday night call. If you miss the Tuesday night calls, hopefully you're going to watch it on the YouTube recording the next day or as soon as possible, because you don't want to wait too long. Life happened to make you miss this one. And if you hold off, wait for the recording for too long, life could happen. And before you know it, you missed 2 of them. And now you're behind. And we don't ever want to see you get behind. Never miss a Tuesday night call. Excuse me. We also love meeting all the brand new people. Whoever got you here, they want to know that you made it. Rory and Tanya would love to hear your name for the very first time. We love seeing all the states being represented as we bounce around the country. And we want to be the first to welcome you as well, other than the person who helped you get join the team. So if you're brand new, this is going to probably be last call, yes. Click on the little microphone in the lower left-hand corner or hold the space bar on your keyboard, say hello, and don't forget to say what state you're calling in from, and welcome to the call. Nobody else? Okay, here we go. Going to hit some buttons and get going. Uncheck that one. Anybody in chat that I may have missed, Linda? Robin Tackett, is she new from Michigan? Either way, welcome. I see you in the chat.
Hang on, I'm looking. Sorry, I was doing something else.
Brandy, fairly new. Yes, welcome, Brandy. Iowa. Woodstock, Georgia. I didn't even know there was a Woodstock, Georgia, but welcome, Don. Fantastic. So that was 4 more right there. That actually put us at 10 people. Linda, can you believe it? Just watching the chat. What did I say earlier? Somewhere?
I said, of course I can believe it.
Perfect. Oh, Cynthia Clark. Fantastic. Welcome. Glad you're here too, Cynthia. I'll talk to you. We got to catch up in the next day or 2. All right. So I'm going to hit that button and that button. Then I got to hit this button and we can get going. So that made my story true once again, 10 to 30 people every week. I love it. I love it when a plan comes together. I was worried we weren't going to hit 10, but I knew there was a few shy people out there or people who don't have cameras. And I know there's more people watching on YouTube. And I know there's some people on the phone. And it's hard to work the phone and unmute and do that. I tried Zoom with my phone one time, and I couldn't get the mute button to work either. So don't feel bad about that. Just try to get on your laptop next time. So welcome, everybody, to the RRR247 podcast, episode 7. And you're in the right place at the right time. And like you said, when you were logging into Zoom, yes, you are supposed to be here. If you're looking for the opportunity like nothing you've ever seen before, if you're looking for a team of people who all work together to help you, each individual, each person brand new, no matter whose team you're on, we all work together to help each other, then you found the right place. Excuse me. My name is Niall Letty. I live in Central Florida. I was waiting for one of my Floridians to sound off tonight, but I guess they aren't here tonight. I've been in this industry now, guys, for 35 years. I've known the Rickards for 30 of those 35 years. So I've worked with these guys for a long time, right? When I met Rory, he was the guy working for a voicemail company that I needed, and they told me to call him. But there was this connection we made over the phone because when he got on the phone, I met this young guy with a lot of energy, a lot of passion to teach the system that he put together, a lot of love for helping other people, especially entrepreneurs all over the country. And he made that mistake because I wasn't much of a techie back then. Actually, wasn't a techie at all back then. He made a mistake of saying, if you have any other questions now, here's my personal number. Call me on my personal line. I probably called him every other day for the first 3 weeks until I figured this system out and how to work it because I wasn't a techie. I didn't have a computer, didn't know nothing about computers. But even what he was teaching me on the telephone with all the extra features and the buttons and everything we had to do, I wasn't a techie kind of person. But guess who took the time? It was always very cordial, very polite, very happy to teach it to me every time I called in. The same Rory, happy young guy that had a lot of love and passion to help other people, but he also had a love for mass communication that I was starting to understand and I was starting to learn. And I never seen anybody with that kind of love for mass communication other than some of the military personnel that I know. Because remember, we didn't even have the internet back then. This story's going to get crazy for you. I met Rory. He hooked me up with the voicemail I needed. I was advertising all over the country. I'm mailing packages everywhere because I'm running in a lot of different newspapers. The voicemail he set me up with could handle all that volume. But there's a special feature that he added into that voicemail. As I built a network of people around the country, and I'm talking about 25, 35, 45, and 55,000 people, I could put a message on that system and shoot it out to everybody at the same time. Susan, we didn't have the internet. This was in the 1990 to 92. Didn't have the internet. We didn't have cell phones. I didn't even have a pager back then, right? I didn't have none of that stuff. But this young guy named Rory, through the phone company, was able to set up this mass communication software system that allowed us to communicate in mass like that. And obviously, as he was teaching me that system, we got kind of close over the telephone. I just knew he was one of the people I wanted to meet. One day we were going to the same event in Miami, and we did get to meet. We had dinner together. We had a drink on the beach and watched the sunset, talked about our wives and talked about our children and talked about business and talked about everything from A to Z, right? And I just knew, and Susan, he's one of those people who look in your eyes the entire time you're talking to him. He never looks away. Nothing gets his attention, right? Because he really wants to understand every word that you're saying. He really wants to know how he can have a positive impact on your life. That's what I got from that first face-to-face meeting. And I shook his hand, I looked in his eyes, I see the energy, and I go, I don't know where this is going. I don't know what kind of business we're going to do. I had no idea what was coming, but I just knew he was one of those people I wanted to know for the rest of my life and have in my life. And hopefully he felt the same way, right? Even though I was calling him every day, bugging him with questions. So I had no idea what was going to happen, but what happened was amazing. I started off in the work world, for those of you who don't know my story, as a landscaper. I was a 14-year-old, 15-year-old going to work in my uncle's business as a landscaper. As I turned 18 years old, I was ready to go, or 17, I was ready to go work with one of my other uncles, swinging a hammer, building houses, and became a carpenter, right? And this was one of my uncles that didn't have, all he had was one little business card that he would show people that they could write numbers down. He wouldn't even go print new 1,000 of them at a time like we did today. He stayed busy for 40 years and he never advertised and he never handed out cards. It was all word of mouth. That's the guy who was teaching me to become the best carpenter I could. And I loved what he was teaching me, but it wasn't my passion. I'd go from job to job to job to job when I was younger, trying to find that thing that made me feel something inside, right? And one day on the job, I hurt my back really bad. I had to go back to school to learn something new, learn a new trade. I had a doctor tell me, keep doing what you're doing and you're going to be a crippled old guy sitting on the porch by the time you're 40. I said, me on the porch? Yeah, that's not going to happen. So I figured I was going to try something new. I went to school to be an aviation mechanic. I had a wife and 3 kids. How am I going to go back to school with a wife and 3 kids, right? I did the math. I put it all together. I figured I could do it. And we took off and we went to school. It's tough going to school as a parent, as an adult, but it's even tougher on the kids and the whole family when you take the whole family to school with you. It wasn't easy, but it was while I was in school that I was introduced to this industry. Got a Valpak coupon in the mail, product that seemed kind of interesting. My sister ordered it, my wife ordered it, and they both got, I couldn't believe how good they felt on it. And I said, let me try it. I tried it. I couldn't believe how good I felt. And I said, you know what? I need to look into this a little bit more. And when I started looking into it, I got on the phone with a guy and he talked about joining. I heard that word join. And I said, oh no, not me. That's not for me. That's not that, I'm an aviation mechanic. I'll be turning wrenches on big aircraft. I got to stay focused on that. But he said, well, you can join just to get a discount. And I went, oh, wait a minute, discount? That's interesting. I want to hear more about discount because I'm running out of money really fast. And I got one more semester to go in school. And so I joined just to get a discount on my product. So when I started looking into this box that they shipped me, I realized this industry is a lot more than I ever thought it was, right? I've watched my sister sell everything from Avon to undercover wear lingerie. And the big Italian family always went to every party that she had and bought something from my sister because that's what you do when one of your family members are getting in a business. I never thought it was anything for me, but I was watching the VHS tape. It was probably about, you remember those things are about this big? My screen big enough to say that? Yeah. I was watching a VHS tape. Yeah, they were at least this big. And I was watching people walk up in front of the room and they were holding up their checks of what they were, the kind of money that they were making and the year-end bonus that they were getting. And I looked at some of them people and I said, what's the difference between them and me? What do they know that I don't know? That's how this guy's brain works, right? And I went to a local get together, a meeting that they were having. And I seen some of them people walking across the front of the room again, talking about how much money they made. And I wanted to see it firsthand. So as they came around to go back to their seats, I got in front of them, let them see my face because I knew we were going to have dinner later together. And I shook their hands, introduced myself, and said, great story. Thanks for sharing. Then when I see them later, they were already kind of relaxed. And I went up to each one of them one at a time and I picked their brains. So I wanted to know, what do they know that I don't know? And here's what I found. And I want you new people to write this down because it's important. Every one of them, there was a one piece, a common thread inside every one of them. You know what it was? They've been doing it longer. That was the only difference. The only difference between me and those people that were making incredible incomes in front of the room is they were doing it longer than I was. I was new and they've been around already for 5, 10, 15 years, some of them even longer. And I went home with a belief system instilled inside of me. What one man can do, another man can do. My grandfather taught me that anyway. What one man can do, another man can do. And so I went home. I became a student of the industry. I became a student of the system that they had at the time, which was antique compared to the greatness we have today. And I decided that I was going to be the best student I could be. I'm already a student. I finished school. I got letters of recommendation. I went to work at the airport. I was only there for about 8 months and I quit. Why? Because we're having too much fun with this home-based business and learning everything that we were learning. We're already making pretty good money. So I quit, went home. That was 34 years ago, maybe 33, 34 years ago. And I've been here ever since. And guess who I've been working with the entire time? Yep, Orientated. The same people that you're getting in business with. Let me tell you a little bit about them. It was important to me to be a dad who hardly ever got to see his kids working too many hours, and they're growing up. They grow up fast, don't they? To become that dad who was home all the time. Got to put them on the bus, take them off the bus, go to every football practice, go to every volleyball practice, go to every cheerleading camp, and even became the bowling coach for the high school that my kids went to so I could spend more time with my kids. I was really making up for lost time. Everything I did was about what can I do for the kids. But when I got involved in the business, I had this vision of making the extra 500 to 1,000 maybe a month just to spoil the kids more on the weekend. That was my sole reason to get in because I'm going to be an aviation mechanic and one of the best mechanics out there, right? 8 months into that job, I quit, came home, and I've been here ever since. But when I met Rory and found out he had 7 kids, That was his driving force, right? I had one that played football, and that was almost a full-time job right there. I met him first, so I flew out to Utah to meet his wonderful wife and partner and co-founder here, Tanya. I walked in the front door, and I met a young mom raising 7 kids, not 6 like I had, but 7 kids, and 6 of them played football. And I thought, wow, how does somebody keep up with 6 kids playing football? This is amazing. And I'm watching this young lady take care of those kids and the other several businesses that she's run for years, and helping Rory get this put together and helping train people and keep it all organized and work the calendar properly, and get everything off on time the way it's supposed to. One of the most organized people I've ever met in my life. But right away, I learned these 2 people, they complemented each other. They were going to become a power couple in this industry, and I was one of the lucky people who got to meet them early. It's been an incredible ride. I had no idea what we were going to, all this that we were going to be able to accomplish and do. But I remember calling Rory about 2 years. You need to stop that, Jenny. About 2 years into working this business, and I said, Rory, do you realize that I'm now receiving checks out of 18 different countries? I've never been to those countries. I don't speak any of their languages, but I'm now getting 18 checks, checks out of 18 different countries because of this wonderful computer that he talked me into getting because I didn't want to get one, and decided that we were going to make the world our oyster instead of just the United States. This went from Rory getting online and becoming the #1 lead generation in the company, in the world, the #1 lead generation company on the planet, to building websites that he built better than anybody else out there. When people are getting 50 to 1 or 25 to 1 visitors coming to a site, his first site, he got 10 to 1. And he tweaked it a little bit, made it better, and got 5 to 1. We went from this guy who became the #1 lead generation company on the planet, and a web developer, a web page designer, to touching people's lives, giving families a hand up, spread all over the whole globe. I'm sorry. Everything started in the United States, but the internet made it possible to do exactly what we did here in every single country around the planet. And all of you have that access. And it's so, oh God, watch Stacy's face. It's so much better than it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. So here I am today, still in business with the Rickards, building an empire, having fun, in control of our lives, in control of our time, in control of our finances, with the love of my life. You see in the middle of the screen there, she's in the business as well. And there's just nothing compares to having your partner be your best friend, your business partner, and your wife all at the same time. It's just an experience that's a blessing. But both of us believe and understand the mission that Rory and Tanya have and what they want to take out to the world and how they want to help as many families as possible. If you guys are looking for a place that you can make an extra $500 or $1,000 a month, like the goal that I had when I first got started, you're in the right spot. If you want to make this your career, like the choice that I made one day, you're in the right spot. Because all the pieces, all the tools, the vehicles, everything that you need is in place. All the friction points. Over 30 years, you learn what doesn't work and what usually holds people back, right? Rory's taken those friction points out of the way. If you're looking for leadership and you're looking for a team to help you build an international business and give you the time freedom, financial freedom, or whatever it is you came here for, you're in the right spot. Because this company is being led by 2 people who get up every morning and they have their cup of coffee. I do too, but I have one in the evening as well. And they ask themselves this question: what can I do to help Gina and James and Kathy and Winston and Chris Babb and anybody else that's brand new? What can we do to help them understand what we have here? What can we do to help them get in gear faster? What can we do to help them spread to more countries? What can we do to help them increase their own income? What can we do to help the people we have go out there and help more people so that we have more people to help? That's who you guys just got in business with. And as you get to hear from the both of them more and more, you're going to see that they're wonderful people, but they're also that power couple that I talked about. Then when all is said and done, you're going to see them in the record book somewhere, I'm sure, Jenny. The legends of the industry, right? Jim Rohn told that to me 25 years ago. The true legends find the way to help the most other people. That's the definition of orientality, because that's what they are doing this entire thing for. That's what they designed all this for. That's what they built all this for. That's what they poured their soul and their life into this for, to help as many other families as they can and do it globally. And you guys are now part of that. So welcome to RRR247 without any further delays. Oh gosh, it's 19 after. I'm supposed to stop at 15 after. Let me bring my brother and our co-founder and our mentor on here. Microphone's all yours, Rory.
But I always like when I listen to you give the recap, the memories just flood in. And we've done a lot, and I look at the progression and it's freaking, I mean, it's awesome where we're at. I mean, it's been quite a journey. Okay. Today is the first Tuesday of the month, so we go into recognition. And we have a new CSI, and there's several on their way. And I think I might pull an audible like I've been doing all evening with our calls, but there is a lot available here, and maybe it's just good to go through it again. All right, so I want to bring this person on now. She works with 2 MSIs, and she's been here for a bit, and I want to get her story. I'm not sure I don't know if she knows this is happening. She should know, but there is no get ready. You're going to be on camera. But I'm going to bring on the 2 MSIs, and then we'll bring her on. And I'm going to go to the immersive view, and we'll bring everybody on together. I really like this. So I need what, 4 of us? That'll work. Okay, here goes. Hold on a second. Okay. I'm hoping we get the right ones. I like what you guys need to have first and last name as much as possible on here. It helps me out. Okay, and then I'm going to bring on the new CSI. Here we go. There's 4 of us. All right, here comes. So we got Stacy, Jackie, and then our new CSI, Gil Rosano. Right. And Gil, there shouldn't be that much of a shock. I don't know how long you've been a CSI, but you've been around for a bit. And I wanted to bring the panel up, and because you guys have been like this little trio going on. And I want them to kind of do an introduction of you, Gil. This is celebrating you, because now that you're a CSI, you know what to do. It's just build that consistency and get to GSI, right? And then obviously you can keep growing that, but one thing at a time, we get this thing established. I want to hear your story. I've heard bits and pieces of it. I think I got a pretty good, I want to hear it for sure. So you get to go into that. But first, Stacy, Jackie, if you guys want to do an intro on Gail, you guys have been working with her for this time. Just a couple highlights, and then we'll have Gail tell her story.
They can't unmute.
Oh, you know what? Okay, hold on. That's okay. So I missed one of the steps. Got it.
I
I
think
read Stacy's lips. I'm like, she says I can't unmute.
there you go. Now you can.
All right.
Like this, you guys gonna talk? Gail is just gonna be muted until she comes on.
I think Jackie should go first. Jackie worked with her initially. And then we both kind of adopted her.
I'll start then because we have both worked with her for a bit. And I'm so proud. I'm pinching myself. I always knew that Gail could do it. She would do it in her time. She is just the epitome of someone that doesn't give up. She plugs along and just continues to learn. She asks great questions. And we pick on her. And if I didn't pick on her, she wouldn't know how to act. But I'm just so proud of her sticking with it and not giving up. And guys, she's worked on her PBS relentlessly, and she needs to apply for Google AdSense. But she just picked up the BRT and the V marketing, and she shows up and she just about runs our class on Tuesday. She's there for several hours. She has started trainings for us. And Gail, I'm so proud for you, honey. I really am. Congratulations. Stacy.
Yeah, Gail, we do tease you a lot. We always, if someone introduces something new on a training, it's immediately, Gail, that's not for you. Don't go down that rabbit hole. Always. We both are very addictive to Canva. We put each other down the Canva rabbit hole a lot. And lately it's been the keyword rabbit hole, figuring it out. And but Gail overthinks things. She has restarted again step 1. So those of you students that are like, oh my God, I got to go back and watch step 1, Gail probably has every single version memorized because she keeps going back and looking to make sure she's doing it right. Now, the other thing is, and I don't think a lot of people realize that Gail came to us with really no computer skills. And then she threw us a bigger ringer, and she was working, was it from an Apple computer or an iPad?
I started on an iPad.
There we go. And you didn't know how to do the simple thing of,
Nope, I couldn't copy and paste. I didn't know what a tab was. I knew nothing.
and those of you that have her as your instructor, you've got someone who's got a huge patient mindset. She's been in your position or even newer, as far as the computer goes. And she doesn't let technology frustrate her, or at least defeat her. So Gail, go ahead and tell the rest of your story.
Well, to start with, I'm not sure how I even got here. I've been here since like 2018, and I don't remember filling out any information. I don't remember anything. I just remember talking to somebody and saying, well, yeah, I paid for something, but I don't know what it is. And they said, well, let me talk to somebody. Turns out the somebody was Rory. And he said, yeah, get her signed up, do whatever you got to do. So to be honest with you, I don't know how I came in, but I just started doing what I needed to do. Been here since 2018, but in all honesty, I did nothing until like 2020. I mean, I didn't come to meetings. I didn't do anything. It was kind of like, okay, that's a little something I'll dabble in someday. And then I started coming to meetings and listening to, yeah, this is going to take some effort. So, I decided to start plugging in. I unfortunately had to have my website reset 4 times. Thus the reason for me starting over and starting over. And then I was getting real close to getting where I needed to be when we got rank math. And I unfortunately was in the same boat as some other people where every keyword disappeared. I didn't come in with, so I had to start over. But went ahead and started over at the beginning again because Rory's redoing those videos and they are extraordinary, and so I've got a plan. So I'm going ahead and playing with the rank math and following all those steps. And as soon as I get a page that's nice and hefty and green all over the place and 5 keywords green, then I advertise the crap out of it and then I instant index. So hopefully we'll get going. So don't let the name Rosanna fool you. I'm Irish, so the Irish stubbornness has made me just keep on plugging along, one step in front of the other. I know Rory keeps saying, rings in my ears. The only way you're going to fail is if you quit. Well, I'll be damned if I'm going to quit.
Oh, Gail, you're awesome. So you don't remember how you found us?
There was something, someplace, somewhere that I had signed up for, and I never got any information about it. And so I kept calling this number and I kept getting voicemails. And then one day I got one that said, "This company is no longer in business. Try calling this." My gut feeling is that I had somehow got a number or was referred to a number that might have been the specialist. Because at that point, then
So yeah,
turned me over to somebody. So
I just love it because I mean, we put stuff out there and we're there for people to find. And if they go searching, right? We're trying to connect with people that actually want to do something from home. And I like hearing this, how everybody gets here. We have some pretty cool stories. But the thing about it is you've allowed yourself to learn these new traits and new skill sets and adapt to what your background was before. And you've watched, you've been here for a while. And you've seen all the transitions and stuff. So I guess there's a lot of new people here all the time. What can you tell them that you've seen happen over the past? Well, was it 8 years now?
for me,
Yeah.
2018, what is that? 6 pushing 7?
Yeah.
Is there anything that sticks out that you've seen?
I've seen everything. I was here with direct sellers. Yeah, I've I've been here through everything.
That's awesome. And
Pretty much not too far behind the beginning, from what I can understand from when Stacy said she started and stuff. So
yeah, there was a lot of years of this being developed and it's been a fun road. And it's always good to kind of like highlight it. Like it's really come a long way.
the one thing I will say, if I can interrupt you, is that we were talking about BRTs and structured calls. That the one thing that has helped me with the BRT is that when I get that person that goes, "Oh yeah, I don't know anything about this. I don't know anything about that. I can't." I have ammo because I can say, "Look, I'm a retired ER nurse. I knew nothing about computers, marketing, or anything. This was a big learning curve for me. So if your lack of knowledge is your concern, please know I can definitely help you through that. Nobody gets left behind here, so that helps a little bit."
that's a solid point, right? But I mean, I look at what we've done and what you've seen develop, but our job is to make things as easy as possible for everybody. It really is. And and then the necessary training. The hardest thing that we teach people, and I guess I'm gonna bring it up here, now we always got new people on here. We get people to understand how the PBS works, how to modify the pages, build the pages. All of that's a skill set all by itself. Like what I call it the art of performance blogging. Everything we do in there is a skill set and it's a learning process. And then we couple that with building teams and building leverage with team members. And there's a lot of education of that. But then the core of that is one of the hardest things we teach, which is the BRT, or how to have a proper conversation with somebody to get to know them, have the guard down and invite them into the community. And I'm gonna go through a process because we have it all here and we do these group trainings. And I want to just bring this up because I'm going to tell you guys what's happening is we went through a technology shift about a year ago. Everybody's still learning how that CRM works and is efficient with it. And that's a skill set, but we're about to start just maximizing growth. Because the more you guys understand this and the more that we get our students to become instructors and help duplicate this process and pay it forward to others, the more we make it easy, the more we make it streamlined, the more we make it less cumbersome, and we focus on the points that are the slowdown points or the bottlenecks of the process, I guess I'll say, the easier it becomes, the more people can do it. And that's what we have to do to get this to reach millions of families around the world. Because at the time to duplicate the training is too much, it'll slow us down, right? And we've had a lot of that along the way. But Gil, you brought up a point because you've been here for like 8 years. You guys, the first 10 years, so we launched in 08. The first years were brutal understanding, trying to make this even like I didn't know what I didn't know, and I knew that going into it. And so I had to work with students and hear everything that they didn't understand and help put it together and make it easier, make it easier. And I went from tens of people to hundreds of people to thousands of people. And the more I did it, the better we got at the understanding to where we are today. And I want you guys to understand is new people coming in today versus last month, 6 months, we're making it easier for the new person. And that's what you want to be doing. We're constantly growing this to be better. And the more we train the instructors and get them in the same path of duplication, the better it's going to go, the faster it's going to go or be allowed to go for others because we have more people succinct with the processes. And I'm really proud of that because we see this, but we're going to have a lot more advancements happening quicker with people because they're going to be understanding it and getting it. And so for this, I'll put this challenge out for, and I know we got new people here that may not be all the way through session 2 yet. You're not into V marketing. That's all going to come. But I'll point out, something on here is the reward for doing V marketing more and more, the more you do it, is you're going to get a lot more traffic to your system too, because that now directly feeds to relevant, steady traffic to your site. That's what happens when we do text 3. And I'm watching it go. I've seen, and it's all part of the circular thing we're doing with the PBS to get it out there, get it going. I know we got new people that got Google AdSense. We got several that are like working on things. We're delving into it. I spent a lot of time in my study halls with people getting their Google AdSense, tweak going. It's phenomenal what's going on here. And I want to see a lot more like wins, like we all do. But I'm going to break this down because you guys, I can tell you, I'm at a point looking at this where I don't know what else we can do to make it easier. I think we've like smoothed out every rough corner along the journey of this. And so with that being said, I'm going to just really cover the process and how people learn, how they thrive, how they grow here, and make sure you know where it's at for you and everybody else that's there. And I'm going to try to do it in hopefully a visual or entertainment direction. And I'm going to go into some things and I want to tie it into achieving the goals and doing the things. Brielle, are you on here?
I'm here.
You did change it. Okay, cool. Okay. So, Brielle, I want to have you post the check-in sheet for the millionaire course and the accountability for V marketing. For those what this sheet is, go ahead and go there, put your accountability in, how many hours you need to be marketing, be accountable for those activities. And then go ahead and start doing that now while I talk about things. For those of you that are brand new, if you don't know what V marketing is yet, just hold on. Just know you're going to get to it after you complete sessions 1 and 2 and are modifying everything through step 1. Gail, I'm glad that you like my new work, where things are going. Gail, come back on and talk. You muted for a sec. Hopefully, there you go.
Yes.
So did I go slower in the new ones?
Oh, yes. Yes, much slower. Yeah.
Okay.
First
That's
go
my gift
around,
to
I had
everybody.
you slowed down to whatever the lowest speed is. Yeah, it was very, because I didn't know what you were talking about, so I had to like go really slow. But yeah,
Good.
good, good, good.
Do you feel like, I mean, you've gone through it again, but do you feel like it's easier than it's been before? Like we're getting easier?
Yeah, I do.
That's awesome. That's what I want to know. So I'll put one more thing out here, Gail. So as you've seen this progress, where would you say on a scale of like 1 to 1,000? We can get really granular with a scale that big, or we right? With 1,000 being the best and a 0 being the least, right? Where do you think we are in where we are with Gail in your belief that this works?
Well, would I rate it to believe it works?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, my scale is 1 to 1,000. Easy 800.
And so I mean, and this is probably a perfect scale because so you're in the 80 percentile, which because you know it's there, but you're not having the success that you want to be having yet.
No, not yet, but it's coming. It's a coming.
Yeah, but that's why is that why you're putting yourself at the 800?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. But I know that it's successful, very successful for many other people. However, they put in a lot more effort than I have done. So
No, just kidding. It's not.
And that's awesome that you have that understanding. And I think this is I think this is good to kind of reflect on it. And at a celebration time of you hitting CSI because you got that you started moving, right? To celebrate that, I wanted to just voice it with a lot of things there because the main reason people hold back from even doing the work on their PBS, the main reason why they don't push and do the V marketing comes with belief. Belief that you can do it, belief that it's you're doing the right thing, because everybody wants to represent something real. No one wants to be part of a scam. Nobody wants to be part of like some
I did
fraudulent thing or fake thing. We all want to be part of something great. Would you agree, Gil?
absolutely.
So you've seen it, you've seen proof of this of its others, but the part that you're missing is the selfish part, where you got to know you deserve it. You got to know that you're favored and that things are going to work for you when you do the work. You
Yeah,
have to
that's fair to
know
say.
it to get from that 800 to 1,000, right? You should have no doubt it's going to work for you. One of the biggest things that we get to do here, and Tanya and I talk about it constantly, is how do we get people to believe in themselves in what we know they can do? We've got some amazing processes set up to where we know that if people follow the system and do exactly what the system does, they're going to succeed. We know it with absolute confidence. We know it's going to work for them. But we can't control their own belief and getting them past their own issues or disbeliefs or whatever it's there, other than to show them it works and prod them along. And in our cases as leaders, we get to do a lot of it for them and with them in their teams.
I
So they
would say with
see it.
with each milestone comes a little more confidence and a little more effort. That's where I'm personally coming from. It's okay, let's see if we can get to the next goal.
And I love that approach. But I'll tell you this, and it's like anything else, is it'll kick into gear and you'll realize like, oh my gosh, I'm helping everybody I bring in here. And then you'll start to pick up more pace of success. Like you'll be talking more to the right people. Everything just lines up once you're in that solid conveyance belief mode. And that's, one thing that's awesome about this. I mean, look, we're offering a solution, right? What's the service that Triple R brings to the marketplace? And it is a way to teach people how to create income online, being part of marketing strategies and systems at work. Okay, there's a lot into that, and that's what that's the service we get to deliver. But even more so than that is they get to get plugged into a belief system that you can achieve a lot of things. You can create the right things. You can succeed as a blogger. You can succeed as a leader of others and help build this around the world with us. All that is also part of what we offer. We're offering a place to come win. We're dealing with the marketing or the conveyance of ideas to people about products and services that's going to make their life better. Products and services are going to, love, want, and desire, and all of that is actually the secondary stuff of what we do. The primary thing we do is help build teams, build others. It's the people side. We're a people business before we're a product business. Our services of building up people and establishing leadership and taking good to the world is our main focus of what we're doing. The products just happen because they happen in the measurement of us, how we communicate. The more you understand that, we're working with people kind of primary, and I'm primary, and then the actual marketing services are secondary. That's the way we drive. That's our core values, because we know marketing works. We know that if we do ABC enough times, it's going to kick in. We're going to hit some saturation points where we start getting enough traction to where it makes right. We know that. But we also know that by building teams of others, we can accomplish a lot more, because, it's like moving a heavy object. You need more people to do it. The more the weight you take on yourself, the more you're going to get hurt along the way. The more you're going to strain along the way. You might get there eventually, but you're going to get there slower by yourself versus the hands of many, the backs of many, the legs of many, the strength of many. And so when you see how the corporate structure of RRR is laid out, if you want to succeed, you got to help a lot of other people succeed. You got to be building solid assembly lines of success, which is the way this is tailored from the very beginning. And what we have today is better than anything we've had ever. And so when we bring new people in, my convictions are even higher than before, because I know we've smoothed out the process to where probability of success is even easier, because little hurdles that hurt people, we got out of the way. Hurdles that were hard to teach. And now we're down to where, well, what's the hardest thing we do? Is to teach people how to have a conversation, which is what we do in B marketing. And I'm gonna put this out there, because we have some people that are like, maybe I don't really want to be an instructor. Well, if you learn how to do the building relationship and trust process, you are going to learn how to listen. If you know how to listen, you're going to be the best communicator. And if you're the best communicator, all aspects of your life are better, because just like here, our interaction with people is the primary function of being a human. Think about it. Everything else is secondary. We have to communicate. We got to be able to convey what we want or wish or desire, what we want to trade for. Just to function in life, we got to be really good with people. So if you get really good at the art of communication, or what we call the art of BRT, I'm empowering you to be a better person in every aspect of life. And that's the hardest thing we get to do. And it's also one of the biggest things that create happiness in our lives, is our communication and our effectiveness to connect with others. It's a deep concept, but it's a deep truth here, but the concept of how to teach you guys is what I'm trying to focus on. And I also, we go back to what is a PBS, right? It is our digital printing press with delivery processes to get this out to everybody we can. And we all have that power. Everyone at the PBS has that power. And anybody we bring into our teams to teach them how to make money our way are going to be taught how to use a PBS, and they're going to gain the digital printing press and a way to express themselves and be part of the whole free exchange. And I constantly, that's what we're doing. And I want to express that, what we get to do here has so many moving parts that make things better, and so much understanding that we teach you along the way, to where you just get really proficient and you learn how to fish. You learn how to make money in this marketing world nonstop. You can create cash flow that doesn't end, because you're going to be able to be involved in processes and needs that'll never go away. So as we reflect on Gail's achievement of understanding how to bring more people in and grow this, what's really cool is we've created a way that anyone can succeed and grow and develop here. And when you show up on the Tuesdays and you show up on the Saturdays, we get to do a lot of this group conversation, share this message out there. And I'm grateful for the technology. We used to use Gail, I don't know if you were here when we switched to Zoom, but when Zoom first came out, We broke it.
We broke it.
So we couldn't really use it. We had to use our conference call numbers because those were that was old telephone systems, but we can still get thousands on there. Every now and then there'd be an echo. I mean, I laugh now because we'd have some complications, you know. Every now and then people would call in and get screamed at by some loud noise. We couldn't figure out what it was, and then it'd go away and then it'd come back. I mean, but look at now. I mean, we can put 1,000 people on here, and we have no limit when we tie in our broadcast to YouTube. And we have people that can, you know, relax in front of their, you know, big TV in their living room on their lazy boy recliner and just take it all in, be in a good notebook position. I mean, that's where we're at now. It's pretty cool. And we're here to teach and drive stuff, but you know, educating people and building up belief in themselves and accomplishments, we all need it. We all need that extra support to get through things that we've never done before. And especially in marketing. And I guess I wanted to say this so everybody can kind of take a deep breath and realize you're doing amazing. And if things seem overwhelming, well, they get overwhelming even for me. Things just change and you're shifting. You know, I sit down every now and then and look at my PBS and go, man, I got 1,000 drafts I need to go to get done. I got so many different endless ideas. And how do you get it all done? And based on the priorities, I'll get to when I get to it based on priority. And my priority is teaching new people. I'll teach new people instead of creating PBS pages, and I'll get my PBS pages, and it's almost like a treat. And when I sit down, I'll knock out a page or two or three and just lose myself to the writing, which I really love to do. But my main priority aligns with my goals and my directions I want to go, and that is teaching as many people as I can how to duplicate the business model here at RRR247. And so, you know, we have our rank advancements on the first Monday of the month, and there's a rhythm we're building. And we're getting people and getting to build a team of 10 and then teach them how to, you know, build a team of 50 and then a team of 100. And then we continue to grow and duplicate that. And along that way, we're moving towards a direction where we're making more and more money on a daily, weekly, monthly basis to where we can then progress to the bigger goals for like those that want to, hey, I want $1 million lifestyle. You can do that with this. It's just the time and consistency. And so, you know, we created the Millionaire course, and I'm going to segue to that because we got like 9 minutes. Everybody's got that link to fill it out. At the top of the hour, when I end promptly today, we're going to go right from here to the Millionaire course, and I got some nuggets to drop there. But today, as we celebrate this achievement for Gail, you know, you guys, everybody should feel inspired and like, hey, how do I get to CSI? How far am I from CSI? And then if you're CSI, move up to the GSI range, because every layer that we have, and there's developmental things that we know need to happen along the way, and it gives us our purpose to guide you the right direction so that your incomes are limitless, that your reach and duplication are limitless, and that there's a mechanism that allows anybody in your team, if they want to go faster, harder, stronger, they can get the support to go faster, harder, stronger. All the things that we see are needed, we want to have built in here. And most of it's just understanding process, understanding protocols. And so we're going to focus on that more and more on our instructor Zooms that we have before this one. But on the student one, even the process of participating in V-marketing needs to be tied into what you're doing. Not everybody has to be an instructor and do everything, but there's absolute things you can do in a team structure to get there. So I'll prod this out today. If you're not doing V-marketing or don't understand it yet, you know, trust the system, get through step one, get through session one, session two, step one, and into step two, into the V-marketing training, into the group trainings that we do. And I'll just bring it to everybody's attention. If you once you have the PBS Vortex and you have the CRM access, I believe it's is it 11 to 7? 11 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Yes, Eastern.
Eastern. Yeah, so 11 a.m. Eastern till 7 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. If you go to the instructor Zoom, you can watch V-marketing be done by different teams Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That training is happening every weekday And then we do it for 2 hours on every Saturday in a concentrated, fashion. And it's something that it's just good to see done until you learn it. But it's one of the most valuable, and it's also, to me, the hardest thing to teach somebody is how to do that and understand why we do it a certain way, and how to listen, really. It's such a strong talent that it'll make you a better person in all aspects you're around there. And here we are focusing on doing it. You guys know, you guys aren't paying for that training. You're putting your time. We're investing in you, because the more we can teach people how to do the art of the conversation or the art of the BRT, that is the empowering thing that allows everything else to work together, to utilize the RRR247 businesses, to create the multiple income streams, to create the cash flow you need to make your goals a reality, and therefore your dreams a reality. That's what you need to do. Like, everybody's like, I don't know what to do next. Well, if you don't understand V marketing, you need to understand V marketing. If you don't understand the BRT process in there, you need to learn the BRT process in there. If you don't know how to write blogging pages, modify links, to do all that stuff, you need to learn the art of the or the PBS. And then if you don't know how to utilize the CRM, you need to learn how to use the CRM. And so those are the things we're constantly training on, and we're doing all that. But the best way to see the CRM is see people use it. The best way to learn how to do a BRT is hear people do it, read the script, learn it yourself. But repetition is the best way to learn everything. And the more you do it, the better you get. And the better you get, the more you can help others, and the quicker you can help others, and the more streamlined you become with your time and everything. Everything is about patternizations of the necessary elements to allow this to happen, right? And to me, the easiest thing to do is find priorities of time to allow you to take advantage of this, right? What can you trade out so that you have time to do this? What are you doing in those 24 hours a day that you can do this instead, because this is a more priority than that, right? That's why I tell everybody, if you have time to watch television, you have time to achieve your dreams. If you're watching television versus achieving your dreams, television took over a priority than your dreams. That's simple, because you can't neglect your family. You can't neglect your job if you need that money to bring in while you're building your plan B up. You can't neglect your time with God, because that's super important. And you can't neglect your personal space and time. So you got to find what time doesn't fall in that realm and make that sacrifice. You hear me say this all the time. It's a broken record, because it's just part of what needs to happen. It's not going to change. Truth doesn't change. Truth is, if you want it, you got to find a way to do it. So you guys all have this sheet that Brielle put out there. We're going to put it out every Tuesday. Just go be accountable, even if it's a big zero. You thought about it. That's count. We're making motion. It's a step. Eventually, you're going to say, you know what? I'm going to go put an hour, 2 hours in this marketing and see what it does. It sounds scary. Eventually, you do it, and then you realize it's not even near as hard or troublesome as you thought it was. I haven't found one person to say that was harder than I thought it would be. It's always the opposite. It's always, that wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. It's empowering, right? It's because the more people we help here and we tie and connect to the process, and the more you understand, so you believe that it works, so that you convey it properly, the faster this whole system works. And we're helping everybody achieve what they want to achieve, and therefore we achieve more ourselves, because we get there by helping others. That's it. All is circular. It's all around happiness of helping others. All of it is. There is no way to succeed here without helping others succeed. You just can't do it. You just can't. It doesn't work any other way. And so in order to do that, you've got to be a little bit selfish, and just realizing you're favored, you deserve it, and you need to do everything you can necessary to succeed, because your success is going to allow you to be there and fulfill the promises you make as you grow your team. Your selfishness in taking care of you and prioritizing you and your goals allows you to be a better leader for those coming in. And I wanted to structure this so that people that are realizing, wait, okay, it's a whole different process. No one wants to hurt somebody. Nobody wants to drive somebody into something they don't feel good about. So when you feel good about it, it's easier to do it. Well, the more you're around it, the more you see the success of others, the more you should realize, okay, this works. I just need to do the necessary activities, and I know what they are now. So when you get accountable on the V marketing, what do we call it, Brielle? Commitment. What do we call it? Millionaire course. What do we call that sheet?
Sorry. We call it the Millionaire Club Attendance is what I call it.
So, and you're basically just chiming in that and I don't care if it's a 0. You chimed in, you got momentum going. You're thinking about it. At least everything starts with a thought. Power of a freaking single thought's amazing. So whole PBS, and there was several thoughts that created this path, but one of them was me realizing that I could do what I used to do on 20,000 domains on a single domain. And then the thought of that could help a lot of other people led to the whole processes that put all this together. There was a lot of things along the way. I look back and go, several thoughts instituted a process that made this happen. So even in getting you going on your goals and your dreams, just the thought of doing V marketing and putting it in momentum up here, it's got to start somewhere. You know, it's just like ascension in it's ascension, because nobody goes and buys something physically at the same time they bought it emotionally and mentally. We always buy it mentally first, emotionally first, then we actually go buy it. And sometimes it's weeks ahead, months ahead, years ahead. Right? I knew I wanted a Ford pickup a long time before I got a Ford pickup. Years. It was planted, succeed. You know, I knew what I was going to do. I manifested every vehicle I was going to ever own ahead before I got it. It wasn't, you know, I'm still that way. I mean, it's bought with purpose and desire and planning and you know, everything is in our life, and it makes it so much happier. So when we're putting this out there, V marketing, which is a collective of understanding the performance blogging system, the CRM, and then the building relationship and trust, art of the communication all rolled in. Once you know all three of those, you just learn how to fish here. Now you apply it, and the better you get in all three areas and all skill sets, the more you're going to be able to help others here, and which gives you more access to resources to accomplish your dreams and goals. And repeating myself different ways on purpose. Yes, I realize that. I'm a broken record because I need you guys to visualize that. Okay, so now everybody should already put in their allotment. Gail, congratulations.
Thanks, sir.
And everybody that's got a PBS in the week ending Sunday at midnight, I'll see you guys in the instructor Zoom. Brielle will be the gateway letting people in. Again, it's just for those that got a PBS. Monday of last week through Sunday, this past Sunday. And if you don't have a PBS student this week, go get one for next week. And you get it by doing the process. So learn how to do it and get it in motion. Like I'll tell everybody, you're going to start out the worst you'll ever be because you're going to just get better as you do the next one. You start out, I always say you start out at suck and you get better from there, right? Then you got to start somewhere to get going. You know, you don't need to be amazing to get started. You'll become amazing if you get started, right? I know it's said different ways, but it's getting that process going, and it's just like your PBS. You know, once you start modifying one page, then it's easier to modify the second page, and then the third. And by the time you've done 70, 80, you are getting pretty dang proficient. I'm pretty sure you'll have hundreds of pages, thousands of pages. You're going to be whipping them out so quick, and you're going to be an information source, and you're going to be tied into that with all the goodness and rewards that come with it. And that's what it is, Niall. Yeah, you don't have to be great to get started, but you got to get started to become great. Great quote, but it's true, right? And so I tell everybody, you're going to start out the worst ever when you first start.
Amen.
It goes downhill, it gets easier from there.
But they don't know that. People you're talking to don't know you don't know what you're doing.
Oh, that's the best part. We don't know how it's supposed to go. I tell everybody when I teach out, just trust the script and just go along with the script. You'll get better as you do it. You'll get better once you understand and hear, like, oh, that's why we ask that. That's why we wait for them to answer right. It's the hardest thing we teach everybody, and it's not something you're going to learn one time. That's why I tell everybody we got to run these classes. We got to do it live so people can see it done so many different ways. And maybe you'll hear me do it, and it sounds so easy, and then you hear somebody else, and you can tell they're struggling, but it works, and you're also going to go like, "Oh, I can do this." That's why it's good. You're going to hear people that do it. You're going to hear people that are like they're going to sound amazing, and you're going to find out they just read the script. And then they get better and better. Some people are naturally better at it. That's fine. Anybody can learn how to do this, though. Repetition is the mother of all learning. And even the wrong, even the wrong presentation on it or the mess up, the right person is going to hear what they need to hear. There's an amazing amount of solid purpose in what we write, how we market. We're attracting people that want to be here. Look around. That's the biggest proof you should see is everybody came in, they found what they wanted, and they like where they're at. We just got to get in front of more people to find the right ones that it fits with. All right. Well, we went into a leadership kind of a rah-rah on the V marketing the first week. We tried to cover on that. Housekeeping really quick. This Saturday, the normal training hour, I had an agenda, but we switched it up. Savings Highway Global will be on doing another training. There's some new stuff that got rolled out. You guys, that is our third anchor. It's also our third major MSI. And you guys, I know people are getting that extra 100, 200 a week out of this. I know some are making thousands a month in this. And knowing where everything is at and being a good focus point. I'm also going to bring this up. You guys, I have students that they're not doing a lot with V marketing. They stick around, but they're like, I'm making pretty good money in this. I didn't realize. I didn't realize it's been doing that because there's the spillover that happens with your teams, and you may not be bringing a lot of people in steadily. You may not be having great success for your blogging yet steadily, but your team can help compress that, and we get to share this. And those programs where we get to pay it forward and help build incomes of the teams, those are freaking awesome, and that's what we focus on. SHG is one of those, and you guys, I'm pressing stuff down. You can get spillover from anything that we're doing as a collective marketing company too in that structure, and many of you are. And it benefits down. And I'm watching that structure just grow. And again, there's that. So that's Saturday. Then and we'll kick over here. I just went over by 6 minutes. On Saturday, the 26th, we will not be doing V marketing. This is April 26th at 11 a.m. Eastern until midnight Eastern. We are doing we're doing a PBS page building and ad posting marathon. This will be an intense day. You got plenty of time to plan for it. Arrange for babysitters, arrange to get yourself in a very quiet environment to pound out. If you have one of those awesome 24-hour coffee shops, this would be one of those great locations to be there with a nice headset, relaxed, and available snacks. You might want to plan that you can bring a pizza in, or hopefully they got food options. If you have one of those 24 hours, this will be one of those times to do that. Get together and it's going to be a super productive Saturday. And I'm basically going to break down what you should be doing on a regular basis in that hour or two that you have to do PBS building. And we're just going to do a collaborative amount of it on that day. I'm also going to be bringing in some of our amazing ad posters and trainers throughout that day. So you guys won't just be stuck with me now that I realize there are amazing bloggers, amazing ad posters in the family, and they need to be their processes need to be shared. So just be on that. I might put an agenda together so we know when people are on, but it'll be live. It'll be a very long live broadcast on that Saturday. I might have to break it up a couple. But we'll do it. And that'll be a good thing. People can just put in the background. Listen how it's done. You're going to be watching things and seeing page creation. I'll tell you, there is a spark of creativity and ingenuity when we're doing the live trainings, and some of my best work have been done in live trainings. So I get really excited for that. And so that's that day. And then stay tuned to the emails and stuff going forward. We are going to make some transitions. That was what I was going to do. So instructor call next week will be very important. And then we'll follow that up on that Saturday. But we're going to be having some fun and really adapting to what the PBS Vortex allows us in follow-up measures. So again, if you're new and you're not doing V-marketing, get through your session 1s, get through your session 2, trust your instructor, trust the process, and get to V-marketing so we can have more fun. All right. You guys, I love just going over things. There is on Saturday, we'll see how much time that goes, and we'll go into that. And we'll do a hard cutoff because I want you guys to see the V-marketing. But if you're not doing V-marketing, commit to doing it. And if you haven't started by Saturday, you got to see how it's done on Saturday. Watch Dina or Niall, whoever's up on that Saturday, watch how they do it. Saturdays are freaking awesome. So if you haven't done that, commit to it and go to it, and then just dive in and get connected and start doing it. That's all I'll tell you to do. Just do it. You have everything to gain. Gil, I want one more thing from you.
Uh-oh.
CSI, 10 students. You should have at least one that you're super glad you brought in.
Oh, yeah.
And if you have more than one, we're ahead of the game.
I got one that's going to pass me by.
And that's what you want. And everybody needs to understand, you do all this work to understand it, to where you can bring people into your team and just keep bringing one in that's a gem. That's worth it. Then you do another one, and then you do another one, and you do another one. And now you've got a lot of people involved and a lot of goals direction and people building together. We're not meant to do anything alone. It just gets easier to lift the heavy objects when you got the team around you and you got that belief around you. And that's what we get to do. So just keep that. I'll see you guys in the Millionaire course in just a couple minutes. Love you guys. See you in the next training.